One of the issues the league will have to determine is how to handle the schedule moving forward. News for Jack sports anchor Cole Peppers here. Cole, there really doesn't seem to be any easy answer to the scheduling questions.
No, it's exactly right. Clearly, the top priority is Hamlin's well-being, but the business of the NFL is going to go on, and because we're at the end of the year, there isn't much wiggle room. Here are some of the factors the NFL is going to have to weigh moving forward. For starters, let's take a closer look at the AFC playoff picture going into last night's game. Before the Bills and Bengals kicked off last night, the Chiefs held the top spot in the AFC. Important because the top team in each conference gets a first-round bye and home field advantage throughout the playoffs. So the Chiefs are 13-3, but the Bills have a tiebreaker over Kansas City based on a win earlier in the season. The Bills came into last night's game at 12-3. The Bengals were 11-4, so we're talking about two of the three top teams in the AFC. Next week, the Chiefs play at the Raiders on Saturday. The Bills are scheduled to host the Patriots. The Bengals host the Ravens. The Patriots and Ravens are also in playoff contention. So if the league decides to rule the Bills game a no contest and Kansas City beats the Raiders, then the Chiefs would lock up home field advantage and the number one seed. Had the Bengals won the game against Buffalo, the same scenario would have applied, but now it's in limbo. The league's decision could also impact who the Jaguars could face in the playoffs, assuming they beat the Titans. If the Chiefs, Bengals, Bills, and Dolphins all win their Week 18 games, the Jaguars would face the Los Angeles Chargers in the first round of the playoffs. If the Ravens beat the Bengals, then Baltimore would have a record of 11-6, half a game behind the Bengals, who would win the division. But then the Jaguars would host the Ravens in a rematch of a game won by Jacksonville earlier this season. However, if the league decides to somehow conclude the Bengals-Bills game and Buffalo would defeat the Bengals, then Cincinnati would fall into the wild card with the Ravens earning the AFC North Division title by way of a season sweep over Cincinnati. In that case, we could see a matchup of two of the top young quarterbacks in the first round of the playoffs, Trevor Lawrence and Joe Burrow. Ultimately, the league is going to have to decide if it's more fair to rework the entire playoff schedule or rule the Bills-Bengals game a no contest and hurt the Bills' chances of being the top seed. There is no good solution here. The NFL will have to come up with a lesser of many evils. The league basically has the two options. Play the Bills and the Bengals game after the Week 18 games this weekend, and then push the playoffs back a week, which would mean losing that off week between the championship games and the Super Bowl, or playing the games as they are now scheduled. Either way, there are likely to be some angry calls to NFL headquarters after the decision is made. Tarek and Joy.